Hello, this is the One Episode Rule, a podcast about first impressions. I am Magpie. The only anime I've watched since last time is that Akira meme,
Just the one.
where things just keep pressing into Tetsuo's brain.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I could say I've watched my favorite anime, The Venture Brothers.
I was literally about to say that you were going to say that.
But what have you guys been doing?
I'm Blackle. I've not been up to much. I had a nice weekend, long weekend in Canada, hanging out with some friends from America. We're up here for the weekend.
Diplomatic mission.
Diplomatic mission. Watched Citizen Kane of all things. That's the anime that we watched.
Your anime of choice.
Yeah. And yeah, it was a good time.
Nice. Hello, I'm Joey. This week I caught up on the first season of Witch from Mercury, and oh boy, let me tell you, the season finale is a doozy. So anyone who is watching that, I can see why everyone has been bugging us to catch up, because yeah. But other than that, I have been watching a little bit more of stuff, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, hi.
Hey there, I'm Louie, and I have been watching stuff, but I have a feeling that Joey's about to address something. So
You wanna go ahead and talk about what we've been watching?
we've been watching Oshi no Ko.
So we watched the rest of the pilot episode at the very
I
least.
didn't.
And yeah, Blackle doesn't know.
Blackle poo-pooed that. But
that show goes places.
yeah, it's listen, we watched the first half an hour and I was like, I know that there's going to be more to this. We have to watch the rest right now. And we did, and boy was I right. Don't just stop at the 30-minute mark. Watch, listen, I get it. It's like a movie length. It's kind of long. It is worth it. And it's a roller coaster, and without spoiling things, you will be surprised. It might have some it might surprise you.
I think long pilot episodes like that are a terrible idea. They really are. Because like we could only review a third of it. It's the same reason that it took me like 5 tries to watch Twin Peaks. Because every time I would fall off and then I would go back and have to watch the fucking pilot episode again.
Okay, I do get that, but I feel like it wouldn't have been as effective if it weren't that long. That's just my opinion.
Well, it's like Joey and I tried watching the new Sentai series a couple months back, and like the pilot episode was only 23 minutes, and so much was happening. Like if that had gotten a longer pilot, I think it might have benefited from it. But also, I totally agree with you about the Twin Peaks thing. So like I'm like straddling the fence here.
Yeah. So anyway, aside from that, you guys want some news?
Yeah, let's have some news.
Let's read this. Okay, so there was a press conference on May 19th unveiling an initiative in Japan called the Nippon Anime Film Culture Association, which aims to address. Let's see, where's the quote? Damn it.
Gotta get it word for word.
Okay, so
what did Mr. Nipponichi say?
NAFCA's stated goal is to address that the industry is on the verge of collapse with exhaustion permeating the work environment. So it looks like they're attempting to create an animators union.
Oh, good.
However, I read this whole press conference and statement and some supplementary material that's just like, we created some mascot characters for it because they have to.
They gotta.
The Japanese need to make a little man.
A mascot for the union?
A mascot for the union, yes.
Yes.
I like that.
2, in fact, actually.
Oh, okay.
But Yeah, I read their whole statement, and I don't know if it's just the effect of Japanese being translated into English or whatever, but it seems so passive and ineffectual that I don't know if they'll be able to accomplish anything
Wild.
with this attitude. But I wish them luck, because from everything I've heard, yeah, the animation industry over there is a nightmare to exist in, and it's propped up solely through individual passion.
Yeah, that sucks.
Additionally, we have they've apparently put out a new trailer for Jujutsu Kaisen season 2.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because I watched it and I recognized literally no one other than Gojo.
No.
I think
Yeah.
maybe Toto and that one and the creepy guy with the head stitches was in there. Maybe. But I don't know. I don't know anybody.
I can't
that's
say anything because I've read the manga. But
His
you're
name is what, Mojito or something?
Not Mojito.
I think he's talking about Ghetto.
I'm talking about the priest with
Oh.
his head like
The other
I-
Scar.
guy.
Don't actually remember
But-
that man.
He's Mojito's partner.
He didn't
We're
do
just gonna
much
call
in
him
season
Mojitos
one.
now.
Yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
call him Mojito.
Listen, I'm
This-
really bad at name. I don't know what it is about JJK.
I mean,
They don't stick.
it's close enough.
They bounce off of me like water,
But
You
yeah,
know
he
who
didn't.
Gojo
duck's
is.
feathers.
He didn't do a lot in the first season, so you'd be forgiven for not remembering him.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's that. Do you guys want to pick up the gun for this episode?
Not
Do you want to
really.
play a little anime roulette?
I think
Yeah.
that we should exercise the change we want to see in the future and say no to guns.
I'm choosing gun violence, and I'm saying
overruled.
4.
Anybody
I
else
tried.
Any objections?
I tried.
going once?
I'm scared.
I think Blackle died. 4.
Pull the trigger, Piglet.
All right. So four it is. Fucking finally.
Oh, okay. We
Okay.
finally
I
picked
say
this answer, huh?
no. I say no. I say no. Put the
So,
bullet back in the gun. Shove it back in.
So this week we will be consuming Mysterious Girlfriend X.
No, we're not.
No, that's the name. That's an evocative name.
Hmm.
I refuse to perceive this.
Let's
So-
explore this girlfriend.
Yeah, baby. This was the first bullet I put in the gun, and it did not disappoint.
Yeah,
Incredible.
this was a gun episode, all right.
Finally.
He shot us all, audience.
So
Cold fucking blood.
so who wants this blurb?
You.
No.
I'll read the blurb because
Here,
the blurb, I promise, is not gonna encompass what this is about.
It's really vague. too.
First encounters are always memorable because regardless of the outcome, new experiences are sure to happen. For Akira Tsubaki, a young boy who knows next to nothing about girls, and new transfer student Mikoto Urabe, a mysterious girl who wears a cold facade, their first encounter takes a turn for the romantic. Through a strange series of events, Tsubaki suddenly falls in love with Urabe, and together they develop a curious bond. Thus begins the romance and the mystery of Urabe, a girl who seems to have a unique way of expressing her emotions.
I wonder what the series of strange events were.
Wonder what the unique way of expressing their emotions.
I wonder what kind of kink anime this is.
So this was an interesting one because I actually I got this I got the recommend for this like indirectly from a Heather video because
Right.
the artist drew another fucked up manga.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. You're like, oh, let's check out this random other anime.
There's an anime. Cool. But all right. So let's.
Don't tell me that we have to recap this.
Oh yeah.
No, we do.
Oh, we're recapping.
Well, I'm going to be gone for the next half hour. I'll be back.
So we open on like just a really like suggestive scene of like a butterfly and flower with a narration about
Sex.
when men learn about sex, they all have the thought, well, who will my first time be with? The symbolism in this scene, it's really well animated, but it also has the subtlety of like a bulldozer.
Literally, the first note on my paper is flower come, frowny face.
Yeah, it just fills up with like nectar to the point where it spills out on the floor. And this every scene of a liquid in this show reminded me of that Tumblr joke about the
You
guy.
Tell who a horror artist is.
Yeah, or like the person trying to draw beer who has clearly only ever drawn cum.
Yeah, it's very like shiny and sticky. Fluid in every single scene, I swear.
So
very viscous.
As our boy Tsubaki wakes up, it's pretty normal, like get up and go to school shit, you know, from every like shonen and romance set in high school. Interestingly enough, I appreciate like how bold they are with his room decor, because he's just got straight up posters from Western media with no like, there's no like runaround. It's like no, it's just like no, that is 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Like that is the original Star Wars poster.
It is.
Just on the back of his door. He's got some fun little figures that I can't. One of them looked like Dorothy from Big O, but I don't know if that's even makes sense.
I don't actually know. It was just some like figurines, but not a lot of them.
But yeah. So we find out that Tsubaki A, has weird dreams, and B, he kind of tends to space out, because when he's at breakfast, what is he doing to his toast? I don't even.
He's like humping it, but he does pour some very suspect-looking syrup on it.
No, is it syrup? Because he's got it sitting on top of his coffee cup, and he's like pouring
he did do
some sort of fluid on top of it. Like,
I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be syrup,
like syrup or something, and he just fucks up and pours it off the side. He's just like, oh shit!
Just dribbles, but he doesn't do anything about it. He just eats.
And his mom is just like, if you keep spacing out, you're gonna miss school. Shit, get out of here.
That was supposed to be his sister.
Is that his sister?
Yeah.
Well, she made him a bento.
Yeah.
Sister or mom, it's almost irrelevant.
A relative.
It's definitely his sister. I'm talking to the audience here, not you, Magpie.
Gonna argue with me about just ephemera, but But yeah, he makes his way to school, and our next scene is they don't even show him walking, and we're just in the classroom, and one of his friends has got like an umbrella, and he's just like, dude, it's not gonna rain, and he's like, I brought it for golf, and they're just like horse playing and fucking around with the umbrella.
It's pretty fun moment.
And the homeroom teacher is just like, and I'm gonna need you to welcome this new transfer student. Because of course there's because this is from the era where it wasn't completely worn out. This show is from like 2011. So
that's actually later than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
I thought this would be
expected
like early
2000s.
Yeah. It's partly the art, which is pretty faithful to the way the artist draws, and it just has sort of a warmth that reminds you of like anime that was like made on fucking cells instead of in Digipaint.
Yeah.
Which I suppose goes to show like the skill of the studio, but yeah, we introduce our second main character, because nobody else really matters.
No.
So our second character is introduced. She is a deathly silent girl with bangs all the way over her eyes, and the teacher introduces her as Urabe and says, "Do you have any words for the class?" And she says, "Nice to meet you."
And he's like, yeah, that was a few
That's
words, I guess.
that's a few words. Well,
Go sit
anyway,
down.
yeah, Tsubaki, raise your hand. You can sit next to him. And thus we've set up events because most of this is going to take place in the classroom from now on.
Mhm.
The day goes on, and as soon as lunch hits, Tsubaki's just like, okay, time to eat, and he turns to his right and looks over at her, and she's just completely passed out immediately.
Yep.
She's like
Sleepy
dead,
bitch
dead to the
disease.
world.
She does what I used to do in high school, which is just become a corpse.
Yeah.
Me too.
She just keels over immediately,
I had a few.
Yeah.
I definitely had a few times of.
and she doesn't even like have her
dying.
arms out.
Yeah,
She
no,
just
she's
Yeah.
face
on
first.
the nose being smashed.
She's sleepy.
And then
like,
these girls come up to her being like, "Hi, do you want to eat with us, lunch with us?" And she's
They're
like,
being-
"I'm the
they're
most
being-
tired I've ever been in my life. Leave me alone."
Please go away. They were being really friendly,
They were.
Yeah.
They were being quite nice.
and she was just like, "No,
I was like,
I'm
"Oh,
very
please.
tired. Leave me
So
alone."
I'm
tired.
so sleepy.
They're just like, "Oh, okay."
All right.
I gotta produce more Jewel.
I gotta make it. They make it, but
They make it. We'll get there.
then later on in the next period, they're doing like differential equations or some shit. I don't know. They're doing algebra,
Math.
which is
Yeah, like
appropriate
middle
given
school
the
Mac.
Mac.
Mac tonight.
Mac. But but yeah, it's appropriate given the show's title too. As they're discussing X as a replacement for one, and
Yeah.
and as they're going, everybody's kind of falling asleep. And Tsubaki looks over and notices that Arabe is giggling for some reason. And it progresses into like a full body laugh that she can't contain anymore, and she like falls out of her
She
seat.
does completely fall flat on the floor laughing hysterically. The teacher's like, what the hell are you doing?
It's just like, are you okay? Just like, I'm sorry. I just thought of something that was like very personally funny. It's like, well, even so, you can't just burst out laughing in class. It's just like, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. I'll be more careful. And Tsubaki notes is just like, yeah, this caused her to be the weirdo of the class.
Yeah,
from day one.
I'm hashtag weird.
She's weird.
She's
different.
She's not normal. You see this hat she wears?
God,
but
no, we can't compare this to Riverdale.
Why not?
Why not?
Might as
It's
well.
identical.
This could happen. This would happen in Riverdale.
Absolutely.
If I leave the call, will that get picked up on Craig?
No, I think it'll just be silence. But but yeah, and Sabaki's just like, well, that's rough, but whatever. And the day is basically ended, right? Does this happen to this day or the next day?
I don't actually. I think it's implied to have been like a few days.
Maybe like a few days.
Back
But
in
yeah,
there one day.
he's leaving for the day, and he's just like, shit, I left my lunchbox up there. I'll have to go back for it. And he puts back on his school shoes, which is like a hilarious idea to a Westerner, his school shoes. I know exactly why they do it, and it makes a lot of sense. But you could never get Americans to do this.
Yeah.
It would be simply impossible. It's the same way as like you could never get Americans to do like the Japanese way of like exiting a movie theater. Where everybody waits until their row is called. It's like, absolutely not. Just we are too unruly. But yeah, he heads back up there and he's just like, oh shit, Arabe's just still asleep at her desk. Nobody woke her up at the end of the day. So he's just like, oh, he goes to get his shit and he's just like, hey, Arabe, wake up. It's time to go. Wake the hell up!
Wake up.
He actually reaches out and like, doesn't he reach out and like shake her?
I don't remember.
But
she does finally wake up.
She does finally wake up, and there's just a big puddle of like drool, glinting in the sun. as she just looks up at him, and he sees her eyes for the first time. And this is very obviously like the meet cute of this story because he's just like, oh,
like, oh,
shit.
kind
He's
of.
just like, oh, yeah. Anyway, it's time to go. Like, you can leave.
It's time to leave. It's bye time.
So he gets his stuff and he like rushes away.
No, he doesn't.
No. He goes to rush away, and she's
That's
already
what I
left.
wish happened.
He turns around, and this is where we learned that Tsubaki is also a freak.
No, this was the moment
This is
where I knew what this anime was becoming because this was the moment the fear struck my heart because I'm like, don't.
I definitely paused and I was like, we're only 6 minutes in. This is happening.
I sat there just going like, I wonder how they're reacting because I was aware.
You knew that was coming. I was like, no, don't. Because
So,
he does just stare at the
he
drool
stares
spot.
at it for a while, and then he puts out a finger and and tastes it.
He does taste her drool.
He's just like, wow, it's sweet. What the fuck am I doing?
What am I doing? I better leave.
And then he just
someone catches me doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, so like,
which like lessens the blow almost. Because he treats it as freak shit too.
Yeah, he knows. He's
he knows what he's about.
He knows what he's done.
That's what I'm saying. He even says like, "Oh, someone's gonna catch me doing this."
Compare and contrast scene with Evangelion. Anyway,
yeah, that's literally what I was thinking of.
Oh god.
So yeah, we cut away from this scene because it just goes home. And he proceeds to have a dream. He has a dream in a really interestingly animated setting.
This was the most interesting and evocative part of this whole episode. It was actually like really cool looking.
It was really interesting. Where Urabe is pulling him through this dream town that doesn't make any sense, with all these like rotating gears. There's, and like giant porcelain dolls and stuff, and people riding by on like nonsensical like wire trams wearing like Melancholy Hill masks.
It's a very tall and very narrow city.
Noodle from Gorillaz is there.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't explain it, but when the scene was happening, I was like, "Oh, this is Kingdom Hearts." Okay.
And it ends with them just like dancing and like like vigorously in this square, and he wakes up and he's just like, wow, that was so vivid, and he like remembers it for like days afterwards.
Can't stop thinking about
it. And then I think the next scene we go to is back to the classroom, but he's not there. No, wait.
Yes, you're correct.
It's gym day.
No, it's gym day.
I forgot about gym day.
We focus on Urabe for a second, because as we cut back and forth, we realize that hey, Tsubaki's like doing the 1 km jog with his friend, but he looks like shit.
Yeah, he's not in it. He's about to.
He's completely flushed, and he just wipes the fuck out, and they're just like, oh god, some kid from the boys passed out. It's like, who is it? It's Tsubaki, and his teacher is just like, oh shit, you have a really high fever. You take him to the nurse.
You're gonna die.
And they don't like bother to get a stretcher or anything. They just some of his classmates just carry him. Like he's a bunch of logs. But so then we go to the classroom again, and Tsubaki's not there, and it looks like he's been out a couple of days with this cold.
Yeah, because someone speaks up and is like, hey, where is he?
It's just like, is he staying home again? It's just like, yeah, his fever isn't getting better. And we cut to Urabe, who's clicking her little space pen. He's like, and we cut back to Tsubaki's room because he's sick in bed, wearing a mask, which God, that sucks.
Well, his sister is taking
He's
care of him. So
trying to get his sister sick, I guess,
but he's not wearing it over his nose, so you know how that goes.
just wear. But you just got like a mask clamped on your face while you're in bed in your own home.
Mhm.
But she's like, "How are you feeling?" And she's like, I don't know." And somebody knocks at the door, and she's like, "Oh, who could that be?" And she leaves the room. And she's like, "You lay down again." And she goes downstairs, and she's like, "Oh, one of your friends has brought the handouts from school. Can they come up?" He's just like, "Yeah, sure." And someone knocks at his bedroom door, and he's just like, who's it going?" He's like, "Uruhara, is that you? Just come inside."
Mhm.
And the door just slams open, and it's a Robin.
Yeah. And he's like, "Ah!"
He's
What
just
the
like, "How are
fuck?
you? How are you feeling?" Because he just sits up immediately, like bolt upright.
Yeah.
He's just like, "I'm fine."
Where's the handouts?
Where's the handouts from school? And she's like, "What,
I lied.
honey? Oh, there weren't any."
I lied.
She didn't bring him any handouts.
And she just plops onto his bed, and she's just like, "You don't have like a normal cold." She's just like, "What do you mean?" You're like, I know where you got this."
Like at first I was like, oh, he has mono. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
was
assumed.
thinking.
Like, oh,
Well,
she was sleepy because she was sick, and that's why she knew that he got sick from licking her drool. And it's like, that's what I thought was happening. No, not.
Your expectations in this scene swerve one way and then back the other. It like zigzags. So so she's just like, "You got it." It's just like, she's just like, you licked my drool."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot. You fell
just
from my
like-
drool trap.
It's just like, "Was it sweet?" And he's just like, uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And she's just like, "So yeah, you don't have a cold. You're going through withdrawal."
Yeah.
God.
Jesus Christ. It's like, is
He's-
this like vampirism? What's happening?
He's just like, "What are you talking about?" It's
This
just
literally
like-
made me yell "what" at my computer out loud.
I think I might have fast forwarded through this because I was just like, I can't handle.
she's like, "Open your mouth," and he's just like, "Okay."
Oh my
And
god.
she
Yeah, I
just-
definitely fast forwarded through
She
this.
just moistens her index fingers. She's just be like, "Here, suck on my finger." And he's just
Yeah.
like, "Okay."
I can't.
Okay.
Why does it have to be this way?
But like, I just want to stress again, like the way the liquid is animated.
Oh, it's very
It's
viscous.
so goopy. It's very, very goopy.
It's very clear.
Like it's clear where the budget went.
It all went into the drool budget.
Yeah.
And anyway, she's just like, "How do you feel?" And she's just like, "What do you mean? How do I wait?" She's like,
feel-
"Your fever's gone, isn't it?"
I feel
And
like
just
$1,000,000.
Yeah. She's like, "I better go." And she gets up to leave, and he's just like, "What do you mean? I was going through withdrawal. Does your spit have like a special bacteria or chemical in it
And she
to make
thinks
me
this is
addicted?"
hilarious.
And she just breaks down laughing again, and goes back to sit beside him, and it's like there's nothing special about it. It's just just that you tasted drool from a girl you loved, and your body cried out for more. And then he's like,
These people are like 13.
he's like, and he's like speechless at this point. It's just, and she goes on. She's just like, "You had a really surprised look on your face whenever I looked up at you that day, and you saw my eyes for the first time. Was that it? Was that the moment?"
Yep.
And he's just like, "Oh." She's like, "I'm gonna go," and she leaves, and he's just staring at her through the window.
Yeah,
Like
in
the
a
most
shot that I can
forlorn
only
way,
describe
just
as
like-
Piss Christ.
Yeah,
He's
it's
just like, is this
sunset.
gonna be for always?
God.
Are there any more scenes that's like in the
I
classroom?
don't know. I blacked out after
Oh,
this.
yeah, she does say like come to school tomorrow.
Yeah, he goes to school.
Yeah.
He's back to school,
Um,
and then they start meeting after class.
Yeah, because on his way home, he runs into her, and she's like, "Let's walk home together." He's just like, "Did you wait for me?" She's like, "Yeah." And before they part because they have to go different ways, she's just like, wait, open your mouth. She's just
your
like,
mouth, my baby birdie.
She's like, do you want to get sick again? Do you want to be stuck at home with a fever? She's like, no. He's just like, then open your mouth.
She does.
And he's just like, okay. And she gives him another finger full of saliva. And they do this every day for what seems like
every day,
like a week.
For a while.
And Tsubaki has more dreams of them together, and he's finally just like, you know what? I think I actually do have a thing for Rob.
Yeah.
No shit.
And they meet up. They meet up one day, and before she leaves, he says, "I have something to tell you." He's like, "Oh yeah,"
Well,
because she's clearly been expecting this.
yes, she's been waiting.
Yeah.
He's just been I like you. We should go out and be boyfriend and girlfriend. Yeah, like that. And if you're my girlfriend, I'll be your boyfriend, and that's obvious.
Yeah.
Then he's like struggling,
appropriately awkward,
and she's just like with complete confidence. The charisma.
I know.
Yeah.
Urabe. She's just like, prove it. She's like, what? It's like, show me you mean it. And he's just like,
And he goes in for a kiss.
And he goes in for it. He like summons up the steel in his spine to do it, which is admirable for like
good for him.
a shitty little teenage boy.
Yeah.
But whenever they're just about to make contact, she like puts her fingers in between their lips. He's just like, no, that's too conventional. do it like only you can do it.
Gonna scream.
And he's just like, I don't know what you mean. What am I supposed to do? And he takes a second, and she stands there, and she's just like, I'll wait for as long as need be for you to figure this out. And he's just like, for as long as I need. And he reaches into his wallet and he pulls out a picture and he hands it to her, and he's just like, and it's a picture of some girl, and she's just like, what is this? And he's just like, that's the girl I've had a crush on since middle school. I kept this picture in my wallet to look at every now and then to remember whenever I felt lonely. And he takes it away from her. It's just like, but ever since I tasted your drool, I haven't remembered that I had this picture at all. So he just tears it up and he throws it over the side of the footpath bridge they're on.
And then very confidently says, "You're my girlfriend now." And she's like, "Okay."
She's just like,
The episode ends there and nothing else happens, especially not her spitting up a bunch of drool.
No.
she comes at her
So in response to this, she's clearly very touched and immediately just creates just a mouthful of saliva to the point where she can't contain it and just spits it onto the ground.
And she's just like, I do this for some reason. I don't know.
No, shut up. That's the best part because she's he asked her, he's just like, because she's just like, are you okay? And she says, yeah, it's just when somebody says something that makes me really happy like that, I just produce a lot of saliva all of a sudden. And he's just like, why? And she's like, I don't know. This is just the way I am.
I need to emphasize,
which is the best.
Fucking.
It's
so much saliva. It looks like she vomited.
So
I was like, did she throw up? No, she just drooled.
I thought that was her soul escaping.
Yeah, it's a whole mouthful, like cheeks puffed and everything.
Like cheeks puffing out. Yeah.
Yes.
And she gives the best answer possible. In addition to my saliva doesn't have any drugs or anything in it, which is, this is just the way I am. There's no supernatural or scientific thing happening here. We're just both freaks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
And I found it kind of heartwarming.
Honestly, straight up, I kind of liked this. I liked it was just like two freaks like fighting each other.
I liked their freak chemistry.
It was like enthusiastic consent the entire way through, and like that's beautiful.
It's not that common in the shows we watch,
right? I wish more were like that.
It's touching.
Shut
We
up.
also need
All
to
y'all
talk
are
What are
about.
you
being-
talking? Yeah, sure. Yeah, I know it was gross. It was gross. There was a bunch of saliva, but hey, it was two little freaks fighting each other, and as a little freak, I'm glad to see other little freaks find each other.
This is also the part where
Hate it
she
here.
reveals what she was giggling about in
Oh my
class
God.
when they
Oh,
were
yeah.
talking about math.
Yeah, because she was sitting there and she says I heard a voice. I don't know from where, but I heard a voice say something really funny to me. And she's like, "What did it say?" It's just like I was just spacing out, looking over at you beside me, and a voice said, "You'll be the first person I have sex with." And he doesn't say anything.
I love
No.
the tact of only bringing that up after they started dating.
Uh-huh.
I need to emphasize they have swapped saliva so many times by this point, and they have not kissed yet.
They haven't swapped
They have
saliva.
not kissed
it's,
yet.
It's
Oh
strictly
no,
one
one
she's
way.
way.
just kind of.
Transaction.
I guess you're so right.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
She's not. They're not swapping.
She's
She's
dispensing it. for
she's
him.
dispensing it. She's giving him his daily spend.
Dispenser here.
Dispensing the saliva. Oh my god.
But yeah,
So,
I've never had like I've been through some stinkers on this show, but I've never been this upset.
Congratulations.
This is not that bad. This is like
you've never been this
okay.
upset because it is both extremely fucking weird and kind of good.
it's endearing.
It's not.
Like, okay, we've made
How
it
is
through
it not
this anime
endearing?
before. This is our first drool anime.
I don't mind.
and-
I just
Listen,
I
Listen.
have a germ thing, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know,
that's
this
pretty
could be-
loud.
Like this could push your buttons. That's fine.
I get it.
Yeah.
But but yeah, they end their discussion there on the bridge, and they're just like, "I'm your girlfriend now." It's like, yeah, and it cuts to the outro, which is hilarious because it's
so
a bunch
funny.
of very high res still image art of all of the girls in this
drooling.
just being asleep in various
God.
positions, drooling.
They're all drooling.
You know what? I just want to say I feel invigorated because like the last episode was just like really like so many like weird kinks in a way that's just like really upsetting to me. And then this finally, it's like I felt like it's just
You
like
can't
kinky
say
anime
that
not
about
gonna
Oshi.
work for me
No,
ever. But, like,
no,
Oshinoko
Hey,
is not a kink anime. I
it's
need
not a
you to
Are you
kink
know.
anime
sure?
at all.
It's like
Yeah,
so
actually.
weird.
It's
Yeah.
that's
The
why
funny-
you
Well, you
needed
didn't
to
watch the full
more.
episode.
The funny thing about it is Oshinoko's kinks aren't real, and this one's are.
Yeah, that's true too.
I'm- Perfectly, whatever. I can't.
So yeah, this
I
guy.
feel like I'm being gaslit.
No,
Or-
I feel like I'm being gaslit. What do you mean you feel like you're being gaslit?
Well, I shouldn't say this guy. I believe the mangaka is actually a woman, but I think her other works are similarly bizarre and also all rom-coms as well.
Are they all drool
Okay.
based,
No.
or is this the only
No,
drool?
they're all different shit.
Oh, okay.
Well, at
One of
least
them-
they're exploring a variety of stuff, I guess.
You know what? Like,
Diversifying.
this is what I'm saying. I respect someone who is like, I'm really into this weird thing, and I don't care if other people aren't into my weird thing. I'm gonna make a thing about
Here's
my
the
weird
thing.
thing.
I'm fine. Like, pursue your dreams with, like, I'm fine with that. Doesn't mean I want to watch it.
No, you don't have like that's. But that's what I'm saying. This like I am not faulting this anime for.
I am.
This person just wants to explore their strange fetish.
Like,
Yeah.
it was fine until it crossed paths with me. Especially because Magpie's been marinating this for God knows how long.
Marinating it right in his mouth.
Marinating in yeah.
I'm gonna.
That's why
if
it's
I
so
rem-
sweet.
If I remember correctly, this is going to be the one I got this from was a Hazel video
Oh yeah.
entitled "A Normal Manga About a Boy and His Mom."
I
which
do
is,
remember that one mildly.
Which is also super weird. I believe that is the same author.
Okay.
They also did one, which is just a like slice of life romance where it's about like a fucking sorcerer kid, and he's just doing all kinds of weird rituals and shit, and he's just got a girlfriend that just humors him.
That sounds pretty funny, actually.
Yeah.
I think. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think if the drool wasn't animated the way it was, it wouldn't have been that bad.
If it wasn't so
If it
intense.
wasn't so like
but
visceral.
like it was
Like if it was an audio
textural.
play, it'd be fine.
No, because then I'd have to hear it.
You'd still have to view the sparkles.
I definitely watched parts of this episode with the audio muted because I was just like, I don't trust what's happening.
Like, I don't want to know.
Don't
I
want
don't
to
want
hear
to
like
know.
a weird splort noise. That's fair.
I better not hear her suckling on that finger.
Oof.
I better not
Yeah.
hear him slurping.
I'm trying to look up the author.
So I
I'm
also
trying to
need
get
to
all my rage out for the episode.
draw some attention to the opening animation, which
thought it
involved
was
a lot of
pretty good.
lemons for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Which is
Well-
funny in hindsight because, like, if you suckle a lemon,
It's
Well,
gonna make a lot of spit.
I don't know. I took it. I was like, oh, lemon, fan fiction, romance, okay, whatever.
yeah, I could
That's
get
where
that
I don't. How
association.
much of a universal thing is that? Is that specifically like Western fan fiction?
I don't know.
Or-
But,
I
like
think
Western
that
early
is.
2000s fan fiction.
Yeah, I think that is a Western term. Yeah, I was right. Okay, so I was just trying to make sure I didn't recommend the wrong video.
Okay.
But yeah, go watch that. It's a cool video about a fucking extremely weird manga. If you listener want to taste of this,
No.
but you could beg us at one episode
Yeah.
gmail.com.
If you want us to dispense, send us a DM it.
We're at one episode cast at one the word, not the number. I'm so flabbergasted that it's hard to even listen. Come spit in our mouths at one episode cast on Twitter.
Absolutely not.
COVID's a thing, y'all.
An anime that could have only existed in a pre-COVID
I know.
universe.
Maybe that's why it's bothering me so much.
Maybe.
You're
You've
just
got
like,
a-
oh.
I
Got
don't
an
know.
extreme fear of
I-
infectious disease now.
I feel like I need to talk to a therapist about why this bothered me. Maybe.
No one's gonna watch more of this then?
No.
No.
I'll
I might
watch it.
show
I don't
my
give a shit.
girlfriend.
No.
Listen, I'm almost too curious. I might pop another episode of this just because I'm
I
curious.
have to ask my girlfriend what she feels about bodily fluids, though I already know the answer.
I'm also like the least.
I forgot I'm on a
squeamish when
podcast
it
with a bunch of
comes
freaks.
to bodily fluids. I am not at all squeamish.
I'll just
about
watch
this,
it to
so-
tell you all about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway,
This is
get
my
outta
last
here.
episode.
Louis retired.
the Louis exit arc.
Yeah. Listen, I have like a very specific like moral framework, and when the anime doesn't fit into that, I get upset. But if it's okay
More
on that
like-
front, I'm fine.
I get.
Spit
I-
is morally okay.
Spit
I
is
under-
fine.
It is fine.
Unless
I
listen,
understand.
spit is fine unless you're tricking someone to eat your spit, then it's really bad.
We
But
we
it's like-
Consensual drooling.
we
Yeah.
should make that like a sticker for the
Here's the thing,
podcast
though.
art.
Like,
The one episode cast spit is fine.
the way it started off, though, he took her spit without her.
The thing
he
is
thought
that
without her knowing.
He immediately like understood his transgression. He was like, "Oh, I shouldn't do that ever again." 'Cause
It was in
he's
plain
literally
view.
like-
He operates on
Yes,
cop
but
rules.
Fuck. I can't deal with this.
Listen, he recognized that he shouldn't have done that, and he said to himself, "I'm not doing that again."
Yeah, but
But then
then
she was also
said
okay
eno-
with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, but
She was
he
like,
I
didn't
mean, like,
know
that's
that.
irrelevant.
these transactions.
Their relationship's entirely transactional right now. Like,
I don't know about that.
it's literally transactional. It's
It was, but then they're like,
They
"Let's
like
make this
each other
something
because
something
they're
more than that."
freaks. They recognize the freak within each other.
Freak,
and
Yeah.
freak
he
recognized
doesn't
freak.
like
Literally,
her.
they
He
were
likes
like-
that he can be a freak around her.
And she likes that she could be a freak around him too.
They don't like each
apparently.
other. It's not real.
Why isn't it real? Literally, they like at the very end of the episode, like, let's try to make this more real than it is. And they're gonna try, and I guess that's what the rest of the fucking show.
Let's get out of here because this episode ended 5 minutes ago.
So much. Goodbye.